Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second episode of Mahabalipuram. We are now in front of the largest stone sculpture of India. This could be called as Arjuna Penance or Descent of Ganges. Height of the sculpture is 43 feet and width is 96 feet. It is carved on two massive granite boulders. This masterpiece has stood here for more than 13 centuries. It is created during the period of Narasimhavarman I, the Great Mamalan. There are two interpretations of this grand scene. In the first, the ascetic or tapasya standing here on one leg is Arjuna, the Pandava prince performing intense tapas. He prays to Lord Shiva for the mighty weapon Pashupatastra to defeat Kauravas. Around him sages watch, celestial beings gather, and the universe waits in silence. Lord Shiva appears, blessing Arjuna for his unshakable devotion. The second interpretation is that ascetic or tapasvi is Bhagirath, doing penance to bring down river Ganges to earth. He wanted the ashes of his ancestors to be washed in the holy river Ganges to get moksha for them. Shiva standing next to him, Ganas or his attendants standing around him. One hand of Shiva stretched out, symbolizing Shiva pleased with his penance and ready to fulfill his wish. The fissure, a deep cut in the center between two rocks, represents river Ganges flowing from heaven to earth. Two Naga statues, one male Naga and other female Naga, is carved in the fissure. It is believed that Nagas lives inside the water and hence proved that the fissure represents river Ganges. There are 146 carvings and all the characters carved here are looks like as if they are traveling towards river Ganges. Bhagavan Surya carving is there on the right side rock and Chandra carving is there on the left side rock. Both sun god and moon god lifted their hands such that they are blessing river Ganges. We can see so many celestial figures here. These are kinnaras, half human and half animal. They are holding music instruments and supposed to be the musician of heaven. The top portion of the rock represents Himalaya, where Bhagirath did his penance. To prove that, we can see short people who lives in Himalaya called Kim Purusha. We can see two mountain goats and other animals here. In the left corner of the left rock, we can see lion which is getting ready to attack a hunter who is carrying a bow in his hand, and the hunter is hiding behind a tree. We can see many animals like monkey, panther, etc. This picture shows how the life changed after river Ganges came down to earth, how the forest grew and animals started living here. Here is a Vishnu temple. In front of that we can see two headless statues of men. Here also there are two arguments. Few says that they are Agastya and Dronacharya. Others says they are Pallava kings. The heads are cut by the kings came to power after Pallavas. In the right side rock we can see a herd of elephant, two life-size elephant and one baby elephant. Elephants moving towards river Ganges to drink water. And along with the divine scene, the artist also added a touch of humor. You can see a fraud cat standing like a sage performing penance and group of mice worshipping him. It may be a warning to keep away from the fraud people. Even though both Arjuna and Bhagirath penance interpretations are existing, one may feel the Bhagirath story fit the most to this carving. Right beside the magnificent Arjuna's Penance, we find another fascinating structure, the Panchapandava Cave temple, one of the longest and most unfinished cave temples of the Pallava period. At first glance, this cave looks simple, but as we step closer, we can clearly see the scale of the work undertaken by the Pallava sculptors. This entire mandapam is carved out of a single massive rock face. The long front end supported by a row of lion-based pillars, reflects the early architectural style of the Pallavas, where beauty was achieved through precision rather than decoration. Inside the cave opens into a series of 5 small chambers, and these chambers are what give rise to a popular local belief. People often refer to them as the bedrooms of the Pandavas. Though this connection is not historically proven, these stories show how deeply the Mahabharata lives in the imagination of the people in Tamil Nadu. Over time, the legend blended with structure, giving it the name Panchapandava Mandapa. Architecturally, the cave itself remains unfinished. The walls, pillars, and inner shrines display signs of incomplete carving. This gives us a rare opportunity to see the sculpting process frozen in time. Even in its incomplete state, the cave temples stand as a powerful reminder of the Pallavas' ambition and skill. Together with Arjuna's Penance, just a few steps away, this site highlights the extraordinary stone cuttings, tradition that made Mahabalipuram a UNESCO World Heritage destination. As you walk through these narrow lanes, you don't just see workshops, you witness a living tradition. Here, the making of sculptures began long before the first strike of the chisel. Blocks of granites are carefully selected. The same stone that once gave life to the shore temple, the Pancharathas, and ancient cave shrines. The artist first visualized the deity or figure hidden inside the stone. A few charcoal markings, and then magic begins. Using simple tools, chisel, hammer, point, and rust, the sculptor slowly peels away the stone. Every blow is measured, every stroke is intentional. What looks like rough work to our eyes is actually decades of experience guiding their fingerprints.
எவ்வளோ நாள் பிடிக்கும் ஒரு சிலை பண்ணுறதுக்கு? எவ்வளோ நாள் வேணும் ஒரு சிலை பண்ணுறதுக்கு? 3 வாரம் பிடிக்கும். எவ்வளோ அவகாசம்?
As the form begins to emerge, the artist shifts to finer tools. Curves get smoother. Expression begin to appear. The face of a deity, a graceful dancer, a mighty lion, or a serene Buddha, all carved by hand, using techniques passed down through generations. Some sculptures take days, some take months, and a few masterpieces take nearly a year. What makes this place so special is that the craft is open to the world, and you don't have to enter a museum. You don't need a ticket. Just walk the street and you are surrounded by live art in the making. From tiny souvenir-sized stone carving to grand sculptures that travel across India and to countries around the world, Mahabalipuram's artisans continue the legacy of their Pallava ancestors. This is not just an industry, this is emotion, this is heritage carved in stone. In Mahabalipuram, art is not created in silence, it is created in the music of chisels, the patience of hands, and the timeless love between the sculptor and the stone.